All right, time to finish off module 2, day 2 of this module, special education. Okay. When we last were talking about this, we learned about the intentions set behind SPED, and briefly, the idea is to provide programs that meet the needs of students with disabilities instead of just trying to fill up programs that a school has or may have. As always, we want to be able to provide the least restrictive environment possible. In other words, where children who are receiving special ed services are being educated should be as much like a general education classroom as possible. And ideally, they would be spending a lot of time in general education classrooms when that is possible. So when we sort of segregate people, when we isolate them, providing the least restrictive environment becomes impossible. All right. We began speaking about the continuum of services ranging from support for the student as they participate in general ed, all the way over to residential or home treatment programs that might be necessary. So no need to go through every single word here. This is all available in our Canvas module, but this is the LRE. Number 1 represents the LRE here. Exceptional children in regular classes with or without supportive services. And then we go all the way to the, I would call it the MRE, the most restrictive environment, instruction in hospital, residential, or total care systems. So, you know, the continuum of service runs the gamut between these two things, these two sort of poles or ends of the spectrum there. Okay, of course, there are a number of resource programs associated with SPED that are available in public schools. These are designed to provide students with the support that will allow them to participate for all or part of the day in the regular school program, our goal. But services are usually limited to a few hours per week. Resource programs might provide direct instruction to students through tutoring. Tutoring supplements instruction in the regular classroom. And a lot of us as paraeducators, we will be called upon to tutor children. Even when I was teaching high school, the school asked me to tutor kids. And so I actually ended up going to a number of students' homes, you know, with their parents, like kind of supervising us and tutoring in home. When someone would have an injury, like they broke their leg, couldn't come to school, this kind of thing. A primary focus of the resource program is usually on consultation between the resource teacher and the regular classroom teacher. Lots of communication. We continue to come back to communication. Most students that are served in SPED programs are provided services through resource programs, so it's not unusual at all. In our pretest for this module, we heard about self-contained programs. Let's define these here. These are intact classrooms that are made up of students that all have a similar disability. Exceptionality, I kind of don't prefer the word disability, but I kept it in here. I should change that. Because of the severity of disability, participation in the regular classroom is not an effective alternative. So that's why these self-contained programs are brought about. To give you an example, there's correlation between folks who are deaf and hard of hearing and blind. So often there will be folks who have a little bit of both of these things. And assistive technology is coming a long way. And of course, we have American Sign Language, you know, we have augmentative technology that helps people who are visually impaired to to read computer screens, for instance. But a lot of folks are not able to use either of those things. And so again, these two exceptionalities co-occur. So that would be an example of if you had 4 or 5 students with those same exceptionalities, then you might have a self-contained program for that. And of course, the class sizes are much smaller. This is a really good thing, actually, because then the teachers and the paras can give much more attention to individual students. The curriculum is special, the materials are special, and students are still able to be integrated into school-wide activities like assemblies, recess, going to the cafeteria, all that. Residential programs are for students who need extensive treatment or care. Students who are of preschool age or who are temporarily unable to attend school might be provided educational services in their home.